So hey everyone, hi. So the last video we talked about the component basics. I forgot to talk about two things. One is to what this model value is. I wanted to talk about that, and then I want to talk about some custom model modifiers. And if you watch this video complete, you will be able to create your own custom modifier. For let's say for V model, let's say because the capitalize is not there, so you can create one like right away. Okay, what I do is let's go to this view sfc background what we had previously. So first things first, so what this model value is, so let's say previously we were defining the model value directly to just like this and description, so you were hearing it right away. But let's say if you whenever you define directly the v model, okay, let me just remove this capital also. I was just testing something, right? So I don't feel near you, yeah. So yeah, so v model near you, v model I have defined, and I'm just removing this also. I don't want to, yeah. So now I think things is quite clear. Let me just remove this also. Okay, so whatever the IDA title we get from here, it will be shown here. Now things look quite clean. So the model value which we define here, right? So we, instead of writing this the what I say description here, we are defining it as model value as the default one. So previously we were writing description, right? So you can write it as model value. So this model value tracks the value of the v model whatever the user gives, right? Super. Now what we do is, now this v model value which we have defined here is, now let's try to see what we have defined. Okay, so just I will just type p here, your input, and it will just show whatever the model value I'm just typing here. Okay, so currently I'm not typing anything. So now if I change anything here, it will be changed everywhere. Okay, so it's from parent to child now. Great. So this is how we have defined it. Let me just remove this from here so it doesn't get confused. So I can just write here it sending to child. So all the child got the text. Okay. Now one thing which I wanted to talk about, since we have talked about the V model, now let's talk about creating some custom V model modifiers. So we want, let's say the modifier which I'm sending, let's say I by default I send it like this. Now at the what I say at the child end I want to make it capital. So what I do is, only if the user sets the this property, then only I want it to increase, make it capital S in short. Okay, the whatever the text I send. Well, in that scenario you have to use something called model modifier. Okay, and this model modifier has a default, what I say, is of default type of JSON which has a default object. Okay, so let me just update it here. So it has a default JSON. So we have something called default function. You update it, and this is how we have the model modifier. Now, the thing here is, what I want is, whenever we get, we have to first check that we have that input. Okay, so what I do is I create emit value some function here, and yeah. So just to save time, guys, I'm copying that code somewhere from here, right? I don't want to rewrite the code and waste your time. I will explain everything. Okay, so I've created this function called emit value. Okay, and this emit value will basically emit the model value which we have, right? So let me just get rid of this. So instead, uh yeah, not this one, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so instead of this, so let's create another button here better. I create one more button here. I define it here, capital. So whenever something gets clicked on it, well, let's make it not like this. Let's make it uh, at input level, right? So whenever the things gets input, we have to show it. So it will be looking like this, right? So whenever we write something, the first letter should be capital. Hmm. So what we do is let's create the input, and in the input, what I want to do is I want to show the value. So I will just type whatever the value I was getting. So that was nothing but the model value. I will just bend it here. Uh, so whatever whatever the input which we are sending, it should have the capital S here. Okay, this is what we really wanted. So since what we do is now I define it at the rate input. Okay, and then I, whenever something is up changed on this input, not here but here, I want to run this function called emit value. Now this emit value will first check what is the value which I'm writing here. It will get that, then it will first check in the props what we have, and then it will check the modifiers whether I have this capitalize or not. If I have, then it will make the value of this, and then it will emit it. So now if I try to write something here, see, every element got capitalized. So even if I'm not writing anything, it got capitalized. Well, so this is how you can do it. So yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Have a nice day.